Picture this. You're standing in your backyard on an ordinary Tuesday morning when suddenly the ground beneath your feet begins to shift. Not an earthquake, something far more terrifying. The entire planet has just been cursed by an ancient power that turns everything it touches into pure gold. You have exactly 10 minutes before gravity crushes you and everyone you've ever known into oblivion. This isn't science fiction. This is what would actually happen if King Midas touched our world. Welcome to the most dangerous thought experiment you've never considered. At research facilities around the world, scientists tackle the big questions. What if we nuked this? Or should we blow up that elephant? But today, we're exploring something that makes nuclear weapons look like party favors: the complete and instantaneous transformation of Earth into solid gold. Call it the... Now, King Midas wasn't just dealing with party tricks here. His curse represents something that would fundamentally break the laws of physics as we know them. You see, when you transform matter into gold, you're not just changing its color. You're completely restructuring reality at the atomic level. Gold atoms contain exactly 79 protons and 118 neutrons, giving gold its unique properties. It doesn't rust, it's brilliantly shiny, and it's incredibly dense. But here's where things get terrifying. Imagine Midas touches something simple. Let's say a duck. Instantly, every hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen atom in that duck would have to gain protons, neutrons, and electrons to become gold. The duck becomes 33 times heavier in a split second. The gold atoms, suddenly crammed impossibly close together, would violently repel each other with the explosive force of half a ton of TNT. The duck doesn't just die, it vaporizes, taking Midas with it in a golden explosion. But what if the curse worked differently? What if it simply rearranged existing particles without creating new matter? Well, you'd get something even stranger. A weird, spongy, foam-like lump of gold filled with microscopic air pockets. Absurd? Yes. But at least it wouldn't explode immediately. Now here's where your worst nightmares begin. What happens when Midas trips and accidentally touches the Earth itself? Freeze time for a moment. The entire planet, every rock, every ocean, every grain of sand, instantly becomes gold. But gold is about 20 times denser than most of Earth's materials. At the atomic level, there are suddenly massive gaps between atoms that simply cannot exist under Earth's gravitational pressure. Gravity doesn't wait. It doesn't hesitate. It immediately begins crushing our spongy golden planet, squeezing out every gap, every air pocket, every space between atoms. Earth shrinks to about 2/3 of its current size in just 10 minutes. If you're standing on the surface when this happens, the ground literally drops out from under you. You're suddenly in free fall, but so is everything around you: buildings, cars, other people. For 10 surreal minutes, it feels like gravity has been turned off and you're floating in midair. But then those 10 minutes end. Everything crashes back down simultaneously at 30,000 kilometers per hour. Your body is instantly obliterated, splattering like a water balloon hitting concrete. Every human being on Earth dies in the same heartbeat. And that's just the opening act of this planetary destruction. The collapsing Earth releases energy equivalent to detonating a planet-sized bomb made entirely of TNT. The core temperature skyrockets to millions of degrees Celsius, hotter than the center of stars. A monstrous shockwave blasts outward, hurling our entire atmosphere into space. The surface reaches hundreds of thousands of degrees, vaporizing everything into a glowing, expanding cloud of superheated plasma. For a brief moment, our golden Earth outshines the sun itself, radiating with such intensity that chunks of matter are literally launched into orbit. Over the following days, this plasma cloud slowly cools and condenses into a perfectly smooth, shiny golden sphere floating silently through space. But wait, maybe we're overthinking this curse. What if Midas's power simply replaced objects with solid, gold copies of exactly the same size? No particle rearrangement, no physics-breaking transformations, just pure magic. This scenario might sound safer, but it's actually more insidious. Earth doesn't shrink this time, it just becomes 3.5 times heavier, since gold is that much denser than rock. Gravity instantly triples everywhere on the planet. Unless you happen to be an Olympic weightlifter, you're immediately crushed flat against the ground. Trees collapse, buildings crumble. Every bird and airplane falls from the sky like stones. The atmosphere itself becomes 4 times heavier, compressing and heating to 150 degrees Celsius. The entire surface of Earth becomes a scorching oven where nothing can survive. Gold is actually about 3 times weaker than steel, making it terrible for supporting massive structures. Mountains can only stand about 2 kilometers high before collapsing under their own weight. The tallest peaks crumble into dust. Continents shift and crack. Oceans spill out of their basins, and colossal tsunamis sweep across the globe. What remains is a golden planet covered by a 3-kilometer-deep ocean, wrapped in a suffocatingly hot atmosphere, populated by absolutely no one. So there you have it, the scientific reality behind one of humanity's oldest cautionary tales. Whether through explosive atomic reconstruction or simple magical replacement, King Midas touching our planet would mean the immediate and complete annihilation of everything we've ever known. Perhaps the real lesson isn't about the physics of transmutation or the mathematics of planetary collapse. Perhaps it's simpler. Be careful what you wish for, because sometimes getting exactly what you want is the last thing that will ever happen to you. And now you know exactly why that ancient king learned to fear his golden touch.